time felt obvious to me. First he grew up believing what everyone believes, that time flows, that it moves forward, that it does so evenly, everywhere. For everyone he carried that belief quietly, did not question it. We would eye clocks agreed with one. And other days followed. Night scousers came before effects. Time appeared innocent, that innocence did not survive. They noticed something small, something uncomfortably. The equations of physics did not care about time. The way people did, they worked the same whether time moved forward or backward. That disturbed me. Reality should not be indifferent to direction, yet it was. He tried to ignore this evil eddy thought about light. Light was troublesome. It refused to behave no matter how fast I chased it. It never slowed, it never waited, it did not add my motion to its own. That was unacceptably according to common sense, according to time, as everyone understood. E.T. asked a simple question: what does it mean to measure time? I did not ask how long something. To Cassie asked what time actually is. Lens followed physics, did not answer. Clocks became suspicious. A clock does not measure time, it produces time. That realization was unpleasant to clocks. Only agree if we force them to synchronize them. We assume light behaves. We assume simultaneity. The assumption was fragile. Realized simultaneity was not a fact, it was a decision. If light does not change speed, then two events that appear simultaneous to one observer may not be simultaneous to another. That sentence cost me sleepy. Was forced to abandon absolute time, and not gradually, completely. Was no way to save it if simultaneity breaks. Time breaks with. E.T. did not like this conclusion. He resisted. E.T. searched for alternative. Show were non. A time could not be universal. It could not flow identically everywhere. It depended on motion. That dependence was merciless. If you move, your time changes, and it's psychologically fleecy. Clocks slows your processes, slow your aging slows, not because of perception. Becky's reality demands. This was not philosophy, it was arithmetic. I followed it to the end. He imagined a simple situation to clocks and stay so moveth the reunite. The disagree not because one malfunctioned. Baker's time itself diverged. That result offended into she only trusted it anyway. Reality does not negotiate. He learned that time is not a background, it is not a stake, it is part of the play. Motion through space alters motion through time. You cannot separate them. They resist separation. He stopped speaking about space. I stopped speaking about time. I spoke of spacetime, word and object for dimensions bound together. This did not simplify anything, it made everything heavier. Events were no longer ordered absolutely. There was no universal, no, there was no shared present. Each observer carried their own quiet linus. Scably realized something else. Time does not flow. That metaphor is false. Nothing moves through time. Events exist, the ring do move through events. Here consciousness stitches them together. Physics does not. This idea was colder than the first. If time does not flow, then the past does not vanish, future does not weigh. They simply exist all at once. That thought disturbed people. It disturbed me. Tried to be carefully, did not speak of destiny. I spoke of structure. Spacetime is a whole. You are a line within ita world line. Every moment of your life already has a place, not because it was decided, because time is not becoming, it is being. It did not celebrate this. He accepted it, and gravity intervened. Gravity was not a force, it never was. It was geometry. Mass bends, spacetime. Time bends. With it. He watched clocks near heavy objects slow down, not metaphoricality ran differently depending on where you stood. Higher clocks ticked faster, lower clocks lagged behind. Earth itself proved this. Satellites exposed it daily. They had torn navigation would fail. Reality does not allow neglect. He understood then time is unevented slightly. Fundamentally is no single temporary path through space-time. Has its own rhythm. Every clock tells a personal story. No clock tells the truth because there is no single truth to tell. This did not make time subjective. It would is misleading. Time is objective, and please so, but it is local. It belongs to the path you take, and not to the universe as a whole. The universe does not own a clock. That realization changed causality, not complete telebit. Enough some events cannot influence others. Not because of distance. Back hours of time. Light draws boundaries, not linus inside them. Influence is possible outside them. It is forbidden not by lobby structure. Ethos forced me to accept something final. Time is not what you Experience sight is what restricts. Experience sight tells you what can affect what, it tells you what is reachable, it tells you what is lost, for a very did not find this comforting, did not intend it to be. I only followed consequence every time I tried to rescue intuition. Mathematics refused, so I listened to mathematics. It does not lie, it does not reassure, it simply states. People asked me could we travel through time. I disliked the question, it misunderstands the situation. You are always traveling through time. You cannot stop, you cannot reverse direction, you can only alter the radiant. Even that requires extramasnia, light near gravity near collapse. Time resists manipulation, it is stubborn. Black holes made this clear. It their edge time nearly stops stone outside, observer inside. It continues differently, different live universe tolerates. No master clock. He realized something else. The present moment is not special physics, does not recognize it equations, do not pause. They do not highlight, now they treat all events equally. Awareness selects a slice, reality does not. That should make you uneasy. It made me silent when people speak of the passage of time. They speak of memory, of entropy, of disorder. Increasing time itself does not cause change. Change defines time. The distinction matters without change. Time has no meaning, yet time exists even where nothing happens. Structure remains coordinates. Persists this contradiction is really did not resolve. It accepted its presence. Later came quantum theory. It refused to cooperate. It treated time differently as a perimeter, an operator. That asymmetry bothered me. I never reconciled it. Time remains fractured between. The relativity treats it as geometric. Quantum mechanics treats it as a backdrop. They do not agree. That disagreement is not technical. It is profound. Something is missing. Perhaps time itself, perhaps our idea of it. Do not know. He never claimed to hat. I know is this time is not a river. It does not carry you. It does not flow past you. It does not heal. It does not destroy it. Or does it constrains it, permits it, forbids you feel time? Because you're embedded in it, your brain marks change, your body decays here. Memory accumulates are not properties of time, they are consequences of your structure. Of the observer, time remains immoved. Contil is the part people resist. They want time to create, does not. It does not accelerate for urgency, it does not slow for grief, it does not pause for meaning. It simply is. When I understood this, nothing dramatic happened, no revelation, no triumphantly clarity or clarity that removes comfort and removes illusion. You are not moving toward the future, you are occupying a position within a fixed structure. Your choices matter, but not because time is open. They matter because causality still functions locally within cones, within limits. Freedom exists, but not in the way people imagine. A future is not blank, past is not gone. They are coordinates. You traverse them once, you remember in one direction. That direction is psychological, not physical. Physics allows no preferred arrow. Entropy does. That arrow belongs to matter, not to time itself. This distinction is essential. Ignore it, and confusion follows. Accept it, and silence follows. He reached the end of what equations could tell me. Time remain a dunum presence that is appropriate. A universe that fully explains time will. Do you have no time left to do so? He stopped expecting closure. He stopped expecting comfort. What remains is structure. Kultivan Tustinen does not ask to be understood. It does not wait. It does not announce itself. It simply constrains everything that happens, including this thought, including your listening, including your silence. That silence is not empty. It is full of time, and it will remain when this ends.